one of my friends, she's madly in love with a boyfriend. They want to get married. Therefore, my friend's father, he decided to visit the boy's family, and he wanted to get the horoscopes matched. So they visited their family astrologer. Now, their family astrologer, he concluded that if they got married, either of their parents will die within a year, and within 4 years, they would get separated either through divorce or by death. She came to me and she was very sad over this. She was depressed because she won't be able to get the boy of her dreams. But this incident reminded me of the book I read in the past. It was written by Dr. Vishal Mangalwadi, Astrology, Are We Made in the Image of Our Stars? So I decided to take this matter to him. Sir, does faith equal fatalism? Is it that we are made in the image of our stars? Somebody writes our destiny? Or is it the karma that determines our fate?
Thank you for asking. Life is a journey, a long journey in most cases, and everyone hits a roadblock. Your friend has hit a roadblock. What's she going to do? Is she going to resign to her fate, be sorry for the rest of her life? Or is she going to overcome the difficulty? So the courage, faith to overcome these roadblocks, these mountains, is heroism. Now, in her case, her parents' faith in the astrologer, that's the problem. But other people can have other problems, faith in karma, faith in some other philosophy. So your faith in the wrong things can paralyze you, but your faith in the right person can also help you overcome.
So would you like to comment on astrology? Is that scientific?
Previous generations of educated people, they believed that astrology was slavery. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, for example, the first low-caste reformer of the 19th century, he wrote a whole book called Slavery, in which he is suggesting that God brought the British to India to liberate us from our ideas that had enslaved us. Astrology had made us slaves to astrologers, slave to fate. It had weakened us. But what happened during the Vajpayee government, the BJP government, Murli Manohar Joshi, who is a physicist, he was the Minister of Education, called the Minister for Human Resource Development. He got the UGC, University Grants Commission, to give large grants to universities to teach Vedic astrology. Now, there wasn't much protest in the universities. Many universities were happy to get the grant in, because a horoscope is in fact a scientific chart. An intelligent person with a computer, with the right software, will draw the same kind of a horoscope that an astrologer will get. The problem is with the interpretation of the horoscope. So the movement of the planets with reference to constellations, which is what horoscope is a scientific fact, that they move in a particular way. So you can predict where a particular planet was 5,000 years ago, where it will be in relationship to some constellation 500 years from now. These things can be predicted. But what does it mean? Does the macro movement of planets and constellations influence our daily choices? Should it influence? Are we made in the image of our stars? Or are we made in the image of the Creator who made the stars? That's the question between slavery and freedom. So the idea that if you marry this boy, your parents will die. How does an astrologer know that? Certainly there is no equation for interpreting astrology, which equation can be tested. Therefore, it's not scientific. Perhaps the teachers of this particular astrologers, they believed in some schools, gave some principles, but these are secret principles, so it's called occult knowledge. because they are not publicly verifiable or falsifiable. So it's private revelations. Now, that is not to say that some astrologers do not make predictions which come true. So you can track their predictions and you can say that 60% of this astrologer's predictions have been correct or whatever. Uh, but why are they correct? Is it because astrology is a science, or this astrologer has some secret source of information? Many astrologers will tell you that they have contact with spirit guides, that is, disembodied spirits that speak to them, and their source of prediction is not stars but spirits.
Well said. This is interesting. And even I saw this in your 1 hour video on astrology. Let's talk about fatalism.
Well, fatalism is resigning yourself to your current circumstances, that this is too difficult to marry the boy I love, therefore I have to resign and I have to become depressed and I have to hate the astrologer, hate my parents, etc. If the young woman decides to change, then no, I'm going to marry him. Of course, she can elope and marry him, but she doesn't want to do that because she loves her parents. So it is right for her to seek to change her parents. She can't change her date of birth, so she can't change her horoscope. But can she change her parents? Because the problem is her parents' faith in astrologers' interpretation of her horoscope. That's the problem. So can she change her parents?
So what are the options he's left with?
Well, the first thing she needs to do is to fall in love with her parents again. Assure them that she loves her, she honors them, she is not going to dishonor them by eloping, but she's going to serve them, she's going to be responsible for them. So her faith that parents can change, while planets and constellations cannot change, God can change her parents. So she has a heavenly Father, and she prays to him that, Father, please give me patience to love my parents and to help them see that they are slaves to unnecessary fears. So she will have to help them study astrology. She can introduce my book to her parents. She can introduce other material to her parents, and plenty of it is available. But win their confidence, begin to educate them what exactly is astrology. And is there a God who is greater than stars? Does he love us? Can we relate to him?
So can you just illustrate?
Astrology is only one reason for fatalism, but astrology, mediums, spirit guides, babas with siddhis, they were all banned in Israel. Israel is the first civilization which banned this fortune telling, because their experience was very different. They were slaves in Egypt. Moses tried to save them, failed, he ran away. He got married in another land, was looking after his sheep and as a shepherd. One day he had a dramatic, radical experience of God. It changed him. God said to him that I'm the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I've heard the cries of your brothers who are slaves, and I have come to rescue them. So you go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Now Moses was afraid of Pharaoh, but God is saying, you go to Pharaoh, tell him that this slavery is evil, let my people go, so that they might serve me. They are not created to serve tyrants. They are created to serve God. So Moses goes back to the slaves. He meets with the elders, and he tells them that God of our fathers met with me. He has heard your cries, and he is going to liberate you. So they said, Moses, what do you mean? We have always been taught that history begins with Satyuga, golden age, and degenerates to Treta, Dwapar, silver and bronze age, to iron age, which is Kali Yuga, dark age, and then it's destroyed and reborn. So history is always getting from bad to worse. Are you saying that for us and only for us, in this Kali Yuga, Achhe Din will come, progress will happen, freedom will come? So Moses says that, look, I'm not a philosopher. I'm a shepherd. I don't know how history runs and who controls or what controls history. I met with God. He convinced me that He is real. Maybe, you know what? Maybe God pre-existed creation. He is not bound by any order in creation. And He can change. In this Kali Yuga, achhe din can come for you. Good days. So, maybe God is free and He wants you to be His image. Free. So the elders began arguing with him. You know that we are slaves. We don't even have a single sword. Pharaoh has a standing army. He has 600 iron chariots. Are you saying that we can fight a guerrilla war and liberate? He said, no, 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 no. I'm not a military strategist. I have no plan for a fight. But you know what? Maybe God is beyond human realm. Maybe totalitarian power of a tyrant does not limit him. He is free. He wants you to have freedom. But Moses, there is Red Sea out there. We don't have ships. How are we going to cross? There is desert out there. What will we feed our wives and children and animals? He says, look, I don't have any plans. I don't know. All I know is I'm not your savior. God is. He has come to rescue you. Maybe He is above nature. He is not bound by nature. He can change. He can move the mountains. So faith, trust Him, obey Him. And if He is real, He will take you out of slavery. Now, this is why Israel became the first nation that banned fortune telling, banned all mediums, all spirit guides, because we should not be consulting dead spirits. We should be consulting the living God. We should trust the living God who created the stars and the constellations, because He wants to enter into a personal relationship with us, make us His children. So we love Him, we follow Him, we obey Him. This is true spirituality, to walk with God. And this faith helps us to overcome mountains.
So, well, we see here that the Hebrews got liberated from the slavery and they inherited the promised land. Is it the faith that helps us? Like you said, it's the faith. How come faith works?
Well, faith in truth liberates, sets us free. That's what Jesus says. If you abide in my word, you will know the truth. The truth will set you free. Faith in false ideas enslaves. So there is a Satan who is out to deceive the nations. And that paralyzes us. We are enslaved. That, oh, our horoscopes are incompatible, so we cannot get married. Well, you can't change your horoscope, that's true. But you can change your parents' mind by giving them an understanding of truth. This means that she has to love her parents, but not give in. She has to pray. She has to believe God, and she has to study these things. She could begin, you can refer her to my YouTube video on astrology. I have another YouTube video on karma and reincarnation, because karma is also a source of fatalism in India. Mahatma Gandhi said that karma was, reincarnation was a burden too great to bear, because these ideas had paralyzed India. The idea which our Prime Minister Modi ji now has, that achhe din can come in this Kali Yuga, is a Jewish idea, is a biblical idea. So as Bible began to be translated and distributed in India, it has profoundly impacted. But that impact is not sufficient. In fact, we took a step forward. In Nehru era, we didn't teach astrology in our universities. Astrology professors looked down upon it. But with the BJP, we've taken a step backward in teaching astrology as science. So these issues do need to be discussed nationally, and therefore I'm very grateful that you're raising these subjects, these questions.